If y'all happy to see me, it's been a minute since I uploaded any content on the channel, and I'm honestly surprised half of y'all ain't walked out the door yet.
Walk through that door, we're done. Wow.
What else is really out there? I'm the best little YouTuber you can ever find, right? I mean, come on. How could you, this face, come on. Michelangelo. I knew the whole time I was gone, I had to come back with the banger. I had to be in the lab cooking up something, and I created a whole new series to slap. Oh! All right, y'all, class is in session. Hope y'all got y'all snacks. Sit back, relax. I'm about to explain to you why Shino Aburame is one of the coldest characters in part 1 Naruto, hands down. Drop a like for me because this video took a lot for me to do, and let's get into it. So anyway, Shino Aburame comes from the Aburame clan. This is a clan of ninja in Konoha that specializes in the use of beetles. These beetles can do everything from just simple recon, assassinations. They help locate enemies. We've seen Shino use them to cheat on the tuning exam test. So these beetles are very handy. I know what you're thinking, like beetles, like when compared to other characters who's using ocular jutsus like the Byakugan, the Sharingan, you got guys out here doing 8 gates going crazy. You got kids with whole demons inside of them. Like, that's not really a cool ability. Just having some roaches up your sleeve, that's not really that tough, I'm not gonna lie. But Shino makes this thing look so good, I might even want this ability, okay? The Aburame clan are so well known and revered. Danzo himself keeps an Aburame on him like a switch. Bro, he stayed with an Aburame on him. In fact, he even used an Aburame clan member to kill Shishui. Yes, Shishui Uchiha, I hope I'm saying his name right, was killed by an Aburame clan member. Bet you didn't know that. So these dudes are no joke, and Shino is actually the prodigy of that clan. Danzo himself even tried to approach Shino and put his offer on the table, but Shino was like, nah, homie, nope. I'm good. Now I know what you're thinking, like, bugs, bro, really? You going this crazy about a guy who keeps a couple bugs in his pocket? No, it's more than that, bro. How many ninja you know even keep roach spray no jutsu in their arsenal? Exactly. Shino is basically Gaara, but instead of manipulating sand, he has a swarm of bugs and beetles at his command. He seemingly has infinite access to these beetles, not only be able to make visible swarms, but fully encase humans and full body puppets in seconds. In the past, I've praised Kishimoto for creating a really diverse cast. At one point in part 1, every side character had a gimmick that can totally win them a fight. The only downside to that, I would say, is the writing on this show, is because, to be honest, like, as cool as these characters are and as different as they are, nobody really had more than 2 fights to show off their abilities. If your name wasn't Naruto or Sasuke, you were lucky if you got 2 fights. Heavy hitters like Neji, Lee, and even Shino only really had 2 fights to show off their skills. And I know technically Neji had 3 fights, but if you're counting Neji curb stomping Hinata as a fight, you have serious issues. Like, that was literally a massacre. Neji pulled up with the energy of a school shooter and tried to drop her off. So Shino's only 2 fights are against Zaku and Kankuro. Zaku being a sound ninja deployed by Orochimaru to handle Sasuke, and Kankuro is the brother of Gaara and a master puppeteer. So his first fight is with Zaku. Just to go over Zaku a little bit, even though he is fodder in the grand scheme of Naruto, I can honestly say at the point that he was introduced, Zaku could probably take out 80% of the cast. The only characters I see him not beating are Neji, Curse Mark, Sasuke, Rock Lee with no weights, and anybody in the Sand Trio. Other than that, Zaku's literally washing everybody, including Naruto at that point. So Zaku, even though he had the help of a team, showed that he can keep up with Lee. Base Rock Lee, this means Rock Lee with his ankle weights, and he didn't activate gates. This is the same Rock Lee that literally humbled Sasuke in like 2 seconds and only thought of Neji as his true rival. Zaku is shown putting up a fight against him, reacting to his movement, and even being able to hold back and dodge Choji's human boulder technique. So he's no slouch. But that's pretty much all I have to say about Zaku. So now that we've gone over both characters, let's get into their first match. So in the tournament rounds of the exam, Shino and Zaku are set to square up, and at this point, Shino is still a mysterious character. Not too many people know anything about him. Like, he literally later on in the fight, Neji, who's a genius out of all the Genin, probably #1 ranked out of all of them, had to use his Byakugan just to see what was going on with Shino and how is he doing this. So Zaku, I will say, is weakened in this fight, with Sasuke having broken or compromised at least one of his arms, if not both of them. But I'm explaining to y'all why this really doesn't matter, and Shino would still get the W either way. So in the beginning of the fight, Zaku rushes Shino, and Shino effortlessly blocks it, and he's like, nah, bro, you gotta come harder than this. If that's all you got, you're gonna get dropped off real fast. And Zaku gets upset. Zaku's like, nah, I'm not going out like that. He blasts Shino point blank in the face. Like I said, these are the same blasts that was knocking back characters earlier, like Choji and Rock Lee. So these blasts aren't no joke. And Shino took it to the face and didn't even flinch. At this point, Shino gathers himself up and begins to tell Zaku he's kind of done, bro. He's like, nah, that's all you got. This fight's gonna be over over real fast. So unknowingly, Shino deployed a whole swarm of bugs behind Zaku, and I bet Zaku wishes he brought that bug spray with him because it's over at this point. But Zaku being a real one, bro, he refuses to go out like that, and he prepares one of his strongest attacks to blow away the bugs and Shino. So at this moment, it's checkmate. Shino got him exactly where he wants him. You see, when Zaku went to go expel the pressure built up inside of his arms, he didn't know that Shino literally directed Beetles to plug up the exit holes in his hand. So when he went to go use his strongest attack, it literally just blew off his own arms. Not only that, but Shino is such a dog, he pulls up behind Zaku, explains how he dropped him off, and then slaps him. But why you gotta do them? You just hit the man with a Mortal Kombat fatality, and then you gonna slap him across the stage? Like, this man got enough problems, bro. He got a nub for the rest of his life. His whole career is ruined, and then you gonna knock him off like that, bro. That is so unnecessary with the hand in your pocket, so much finesse. Everybody in there is like, what's going on? Like I said earlier, Neji literally had to use his Byaku gun to figure out what is Shino's deal. He thought he used a summoning jutsu. Low-key, Shino just houses these bugs for free. These bugs live rent-free in Shino's body, bro. The only thing they gotta pay is the tab of your ass when Shino's done with it. This man is cold. So that's his first fight. It was done in literally in seconds. I mean, like, if you count that as a fight, that was just finesse. I'm not gonna lie. So at this point, we kind of get the idea that Shino is that dude for real, but that wasn't even his most impressive fight. All right, so after Sasuke versus Gaara and the Konohara Crush arc begins, Kankuro along with Temari, they kind of flee the scene with Gaara to get him up out of there because he starts freaking out. So Sasuke pursues them to finish his match, but to my surprise, I'm watching the show, I'm like, where did Shino pull up from? So Shino pulls up on Sasuke. He literally tracked Sasuke the whole time just so he could find Kankuro, just so Shino could run him the fade. I'm like, what? When was Shino a smoke blower? Like, Buddy really wanted smoke from Kankuro for no reason. Whole time Kankuro was like,
you can't. Whose man is this? You put him on the TV.
So by this time, it's pretty clear in the show that the Sand Ninja are like leagues above the average Genin that we have. And I said we like we really live there. So by this point in the show, it's pretty clear that the Sand Ninja are kind of a step above majority of the Genin cast from the Leaf Village. The only really heavy hitters like Naruto, Neji, Lee, and Sasuke that we can safely scale above Kankuro and Temari. Well, you might as well add Shino to that bunch as well, because he finessed Kankuro like he was the cleanest lick ever. So this fight does end in a draw, but that's only because Shino technically got poisoned by a smoke bomb. I don't really count that as a W in Kankuro's win, I'm not gonna lie, because Shino by far showed more control over the battle, and he countered Kankuro, forcing him to basically camp in the bushes, which was all a part of Shino's plan to begin with. What I didn't mention was Shino's intellect in battle. One could argue it rivals Part 1 Shikamaru, and before I get any nasty comments about it, think about it for a second. You have to be exceptionally strategic to be able to beat enemies with tiny ant-sized beetles, especially with the level of ease and finesse that we see in both showings for Shino. So in the beginning of the fight, we see Shino throw a punch at Kankuro that misses horribly, but that punch that he seemingly missed was actually to plant a female beetle on Kankuro so that his male beetles can track him wherever he is on the battlefield. Considering the fact that Shino literally explained how he tracked Sasuke in front of Kankuro, and then proceeded to use this same strategy to drop him off, that is pretty impressive. So Kankuro is a genius ninja in his own right, being a puppet master at such a young age, and he didn't even realize this was going on, even though, like I said, Shino literally explained it to Sasuke in front of Kankuro. So in order to secure the dub, Shino kind of knew he had to swarm Kankuro with the beetles, because both of them were kind of fighting at a stalemate. I mean, Shino wasn't able to really touch on Kankuro, and Kankuro wasn't able to do much to Shino, not only because Shino was able to dodge him effortlessly, but Shino also immobilized one of Kankuro's best puppets by just swarming it with bugs. You know how many bugs you have to have at your disposal to fully encase a whole puppet, a full-bodied puppet? That's a ridiculous amount. And not only does he have this much, he also had enough to also flank Kankuro and swarm him as well. That's an insane amount of beetles at his disposal at any given time. And like I said earlier, these beetles can do everything from poison enemies to devour their chakra, which pretty much renders them useless. So if you really think about it, these beetles are probably one of the best abilities to have in Naruto. Considering the fact that it takes little to no chakra to even remotely control them, you can just kind of command them at your will to do what you need them to do, and best believe they're gonna handle business. So after securing the dub over Kankuro, I can confidently say Shino definitely ranks up there with the higher tier Genin. In terms of intelligence, he's probably only rivaled by Shikamaru, and while he isn't a powerhouse like Naruto or Lee, his beetles are so broken that if he places just one on you, that's pretty much a GG, because a whole swarm of beetles will be on the way to devour your chakra, unless you brought a can of bug spray to the battlefield. So anyways, that's pretty much all Shino has to show, sadly, in part 1. I would love to see more of him, but that's really all he has. I would have loved to see him go on the Sasuke retrieval arc mission with them and just seeing what he could have done, because I ain't gonna lie, if they would have went on that mission, they probably would have gotten Sasuke back a lot sooner. Like, literally, I could see Shino dog walking through all 4 of the Orochimaru sound ninjas. That's just me personally. Let me know what you think about that down in the comment section below. But this dude is definitely a dog, and that's just part 1 Shino. In part 2, he does get a little bit stronger and shows that he can control different kinds of beetles that are even more deadly than his basic ones. But I'm not gonna talk about Shippuden really, because to be honest with you, I didn't like Shippuden. That's another story for another time, and definitely in Boruto we're not talking about that, because yeah, we don't talk about Boruto. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like down in the comment section below. This video did take me a while to do. A lot of thinking, a lot of research had to go into this video, believe it or not. So I would greatly appreciate a like and comment your favorite part if you agree with me. Did you guys know Shino was this cold? Because I sure as heck didn't. The whole time I'm thinking Shino just some nerdy little kid with bugs in his body. This man don't got bugs. This man got dogs in him, because yeah, he's him for real.